We're very excited about our signing class. It's the largest one we've had in a while. I'm not sure if it's the largest one we've had, period, but when we started this process last spring with some new staff members, we didn't know how many numbers we had. And then you have 4 guys transfer, you have 2 or 3 that graduate early and leave, a couple get hurt, so all of a sudden you go from a class of 17 to 20 to what could be 28. The way you get at 28 is you can have 50 over a 2-year period. So you can not sign more than 28, but you can sign 25 each year. And since we had 6 guys coming in early in January, then we were able to count 3 of those guys back. So we signed 22 last year. 3 of these count in last year's class to make it 25, and then you count the 25 forward. And that's how the numbers end up working. It's very difficult to make your numbers work. It's hard on coaches and kids across the country when you're pretty sure of what you've got coming into the day, but things can change. And all of a sudden, if 4 guys come and you're not expecting them, you could be in trouble with numbers and be over. Or if 3 back out and you weren't in a position to have more than those 3, you can end up really short. So there's a tremendous amount of pressure on signing day with both the coaches and the families. It is also interesting to note, and I'm sure most of you know this, but a lot of the young men will have 4 or 5 scholarships sitting in front of them when they sign. And even if you went to visit a school but told them you weren't interested, they may send the scholarship and have it sitting there. And if you ask them to tear it up, if they tear it up, the school can send another one. So normally if you've got a young man that gets up in the morning and you think he's going to sign with you and he's supposed to sign at 8:30 and you haven't heard by 10:30, it's not good. And usually, like this morning, we had one young guy that was supposed to sign at 9. We didn't get his papers till about 10:15, and we tried to get them all in at 10, and the fax machine wasn't working. So that makes you go crazy. And if you call the coach, or sometimes we had one school that signed about 18 today, and they wanted to wait till the process was over before they sent scholarship in. Well, it takes a long time to sign 18. And we're sitting there biting our fingernails and watching and waiting, and I'm yelling at assistant coaches, and we're trying to figure out where is that scholarship. But when you see the papers and they have to send in the national letter of intent and they have to send in the scholarship, which is the money from the university, the grant and aid, and then we have to send all of those scholarships over to compliance, and they check them top to bottom to make sure that the names are right, to make sure that the dates are right, to make sure that they're all filled out properly before we can release them. And that's really why we started having a press conference at 3:30 in the afternoon to make sure that if there was a young man that got his in a little bit later, then we could still get it to you all, because it's a violation if we release a name before the young men are released from compliance. All 28 of these young men have obviously been released by compliance, and we're excited about the day.